Okay, people, I'm here with the comedian Abish Mathew. Abish, welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
And jumping straight right in.
Wow, you don't even have a monologue. Usually, I
No,
try
you
to
see,
do
my monologue was I know you do the monologue and then your guests come onto the show. But my first question was going to be how do you like the Delhi cold? And then I realized you are from Delhi.
Exactly.
But do you think it's a little bit more cold right now compared to?
Man, I love the Delhi cold. Like my entire time when I was living in Delhi, which is 26 years of my life or more, I think.
So you're a Delhiite.
I'm a Delhi. I was born and raised here. I mean, I'm from Noida, but it's Delhi.
You've done one of those Delhi versus Bombay videos also, I'm sure.
Yeah, I have. It's like a. Well, technically, if you do a Delhi versus Bombay, you're like, oh, you're going for easy jokes, and those are easy jokes. But it was almost like it was me going like, okay, you know what? It's like a passage I have to cross, and I've done it. Yeah. But it's true. I was born and raised here. I loved the cold in Delhi. I remember I used to drive from work, which was in Gurgaon, all the way back to Noida, and I used to have a scooter. So on the D&D, when during the winters, it used to be so cold that sometimes you had to sing to yourself to keep forgetting that you're cold. So I'll have to be like, yeah, dosti, humne hi. Just stand up and won't even sit on it. It was good. I liked it.
Okay, cool. Jumping right in. Okay. What happens? You're at a live show, you're performing, okay? You crack a joke and no one laughs.
You mean every show? You mean every monologue of Son of a Bish ever? Come on, high five, self-deprecatory joke. No, people do laugh. It's funny. Just it's just we write. Okay, so what happens is this situation happens a lot at open mics. An open mic is where a comedian will go try out his or her material, and then the first time you try it, out of 10 jokes, 3 works. The second time you try it, maybe 5 will work. Then you discard like 3-4 jokes, and then you have like a good 5 jokes kind of thing.
But you're still doing open mics or no? You don't.
You have to do open mics all the time.
No, but right now you're doing proper shows in India, abroad.
Yeah.
But you're still doing open mics. You're still experimenting. With
Yeah,
shows.
everyone. There is no other way to come up with jokes. I personally haven't done open mics in a long time because I was doing Son of a Bish. But that's why my stand-up material is a year old. This is basically when I did open mics. An open mic is, imagine like a workshop. If you're a welder, you can't do it in your living room unless you want to burn it down. You have to go to your workshop and do it. So open mics are literally workshop where you sharpen up your metal, you figure out how to go about it. But like every comic should do it, I should be doing it. So
You'll be getting back to it, like you said, once you get.
yeah. So now that I'm gonna watch. Now that I'm watching. Okay, this message is for Abish, who's watching it right now on screen. Go to an open mic, bro. Your material is a year old.
So now you don't need to write it in the to-do list also.
No. Now I've told myself. I'm telling myself right now.
Okay, I'll tag you on Facebook later.
Yes, please do. Also, hi everybody else. But
Oh yeah, hi everyone.
yeah.
18 hours back, your last Facebook post says, stand-up comedy is all about last-minute preparations and panic. Explain.
It is, man. I can't express so many times that I'm like, oh, today I'm going to write some jokes and I'm gonna get inspired. And you write like a note on your notebook or on your note saying that, yeah, I'm gonna talk about when I was a kid, my dad used to beat me up. I'll talk about it. It'll be something funny. Then you're like, oh, I'll work on it. I have an open mic next week. Chalo, I'm gonna work on it. Sunday, I'm like, हाँ ठीक है, काम करें. अभी तो next Saturday को है. Then Monday, हाँ अभी तो बहुत time है. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, you're like, हाँ अभी एक दिन है. It's a funny thought. Everyone will relate. Sunday, oh shit, 6 बजे को open mic है. You know what? I'll do it. It doesn't matter. 6 o'clock open mic. You get there at 5 p.m. and you take out your notebook and you start writing as many jokes as possible because you're like, it's a panic mode. And that's how I've written every joke of mine. I don't know if the case with everybody else, but under so much pressure and like only then do I...
Really funny stuff comes out.
I would like to believe so. But like it generally has become a thing where under a state of shock and panic is when I can write jokes. Okay. If I have time, then I would, and if I have I'll make Son of a Bish, because you have to plan a lot of things.
Right. But I mean, hosting an interview show is obviously way easier than writing comedy content, right?
Writing stand-up comedy is really tough, very tough. Because it's just not writing it, it's also doing it at different open mics, seeing how it works. Okay, that is done. You have a good bit ready. But then you do it at a corporate show, you have to change it around a little bit. Then you do it at a college show, you have to change it around a little bit. A smaller show, you got to do it differently. Auditorium, you got to play it differently. So it is always evolving like an organism. Till the time you're done with it, you feel it. You're like, हाँ ये बहुत कर लिया है.
Right.
That's it, and you disregard it.
Right.
So it's always going to keep changing.
The Indian comedy community, is everybody friends with everybody? And if that's true, is that what separates the Indian comedy community from Bollywood?
I don't know what it is with Bollywood because I don't believe any gossip that I read because I'm like half the time it's just nonsense. But as far as the comedy community is concerned, a lot of us are really good friends because I think a lot of us started together, so we've seen that. But that doesn't mean everybody is good friends with everybody. Like I personally like to be good friends with everybody. Like I personally do not dislike anyone in the industry. I don't know if the reverse is true. It's different if you like their content or not. That's completely different. Like I could be really good friends with this person, but I might not like his or her comedy, which is completely fine.
Yeah, issue based. Yeah.
Like my friends are mostly good friends of mine. Content wise, they're like, tu dost acha hai. So
Let's keep it at that.
yeah, let's keep it at that. Yeah. So I don't know if it differentiates Bollywood as such. I don't know what the scene is with Bollywood, but with Indian comedy circuit, everyone is at least cordial. A lot of us are really good friends. Like, and when I mean lot of us are. Really
Your top 3 friends, if you have to name them,
right now,
from the comedy circle.
Kenny, Kanan, Zakir, Tanmay, Kaniz, they're all like such. Sumuki, Naveen. Actually, I can keep listing. Like that's what I'm like. Now the problem is if I put this like, hey, mera naam nahi liya tune. I'm like, no, you're also Atul. I'm friends with you also. Saurav,
But I'll love to see that on Twitter if they say tune mera naam liya, whatever.
Exactly. Oh my God. Okay, let me start this thing. Varun Thakur, Adar Malik. I'll have to go through SNG, EIC, AIB.
No, you can't name everybody. No. You're being too safe now.
Who's name?
You're being too safe. Moving on to the next question. No, he's being very safe. Okay, one of your favorite comedians is Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Still is. But do you feel that Robin Williams, other comedians, and generally comedians overall have a certain dark side to them? Because there are studies which have come out which say that, and many comedians in their interviews also have said the same thing. So is it true that all comedians or many of them have a dark side, and isn't that sort of ironical?
Dark side, I would answer this twofold. Number one, if you're saying a comedian has a dark side, that means he or she or they are very, aggressive and, sometimes maybe they're evil inside. Sure, all humans have that. So that I would say definitely. Though I'm interested in the second question, with the second part of it, which I'm considering, is like they're not always happy. There are moments of crushing sadness.
Yeah, like Rowan Atkinson apparently suffered from bouts of depression.
Yeah, and which I think is similar to, I think, a lot of art forms. Like I go to therapy. I've been going to therapy for a year and a half now, and it's really helped out. The thing is that I think not just comedians in general, but I think like you, everybody should just go to therapy because.
But again, now since you're talking about therapy,
Yeah.
especially in India, I mean, in America and Hollywood, they're very open about it. In India, if you have diabetes, you'll say I'm taking my diabetes pills. You will never say it for, in your case, it might be different because you've reached a certain level of fame. So it's okay, it's normal for you to talk about it, maybe, or easier. But for other people, if they talk about I'm going to therapy, there are going to be 10 other questions. Are you okay? Is it fine? So
Exactly. Now the thing is, the reason, like it's still awkward for anyone to talk about therapy, right? It'll be awkward for me. But because I realize that I come at a position that someone who's clicking this video is like, hey Abish, I've heard this guy's name. Let me see what he has to say. And if I'm talking about therapy and not in a position of fame, then people are like, oh, if he's talking about it, then I think it's cool to do it.
Yeah.
So it is, so earlier.
Like when Deepika talked about her depression.
Exactly. It could have been embarrassing for me, but then I think the same conversation I had with another friend was just like, if you go to therapy and you recognize there are 10 other people who you think should, like most of my managers should go to therapy.
What's up?
What's up? Yeah, I'm just saying they have so much stress to deal with. Our stress, client stress. My point is that if I'm coming at a position of changing or influencing some people's opinion, my position would be mental health over everything else. You should go to therapy. And if you consider me cool, because I'm wearing a cool t-shirt, as you can see, because it is black t-shirt, pay white hair, so it's black and white. This is not about white lives matter. It's about just black. It's a t-shirt, funny t-shirt. Anyway, if you're not editing this out, it's a good joke. What I meant to say is that you should, if you're watching this, and I think you should all go to therapy. That's what I mean, that there is dark side to everybody. Like there is to everyone who's looking, specifically to comics, I think all comics should go to therapy because if you're doing comedy as a career.
What's wrong with you? क्यों कर रहे हो?
So yeah, you should go to therapy. And I think I've been going to therapy. I'm vocal about it. Tanmay is vocal about it. We're just vocal about it because like, it should be normalized. It's like earlier sex used to be a taboo topic. अभी भी थोड़ा बहुत taboo topic है, but फिर अभी थोड़ा इरफान topic भी हो गया. Get it? Come on.
I didn't get it, but
Because Tabu and Irfan do a lot of movies together. But like the point is that you should. So yes, there is dark side to everybody. There is dark side to comedy. We do feel anxious. We do feel nervous. We do feel sad. We do also feel depressed. Sadness and depression, completely two different things. I know this because I went to therapy.
yeah, or maybe you're melancholic, which is the more poetic way of saying it.
That's true, sir. Spelling nahi aati mujhe actually mein, but melancholic or melancholic, however it is. So the point is, yeah. So I think a lot of people don't talk about it. Start talking about it. Get yourself informed, and then I'll see you.
Thumbs up for that. Thumbs up for that. Yeah. Okay. How do you deal with hecklers?
Hecklers are a blessing, or they are a curse at a show. There are points that I've done shows where my jokes are going meh, and a heckler is heckled saying something random, not about the material, just heckled, and your takedown to the heckler gets such a huge applause that you can never come back from that to doing your regular material. And they're like, abhi ghante ke liye main kya karunga? How do you deal with hecklers? Is everyone has a different thing, and it depends on the day, it depends on the temperature of the room, it depends on the air that you're breathing, it depends on what the audience's vibe is. It completely changes every time.
It depends on how you're feeling.
Yeah, it depends upon how you're feeling. So there's a lot of things that I personally feel, as far as the hecklers are concerned, if you go prepared for a heckle, sometimes if the heckler is just being supportive, you take him down for no reason. And sometimes they're like, okay, cool, it should be normal. So you got to play it up. The thing that I get really scared of is drunk people, because
you can't reason with them.
you can't reason with them. And embarrassment as a tactic doesn't work. Empathy as a tactic doesn't work.
Because they're already beyond that.
They've gone way beyond that. They've gone way beyond them self-censoring. Because if they were sober, they would have been normal. But like, I like everyone to be happy and buzzed. When they get sloshed and drunk, you're just like, bro, because of you, there are 300 people whose show is gonna go terrible. So I can keep taking the heckler down, and the heckler will keep giving me content, and I'll keep taking that heckler down. Everyone's gonna applaud, lap, lap, lap. He or she also feels gratified in a certain way, I'm guessing. But there's no end to it. There's no finishing of a show. It's like cutting a series mid-season, and you don't know where the closure is.
It's become very abrupt and...
Yeah, it's kind of odd. But like, it's always fun. They always steal the show. It's always good.
Okay. Rewinding back a few years, you had done a show at NLU Delhi, if I'm not wrong. And some students took offense to the jokes you cracked on domestic violence and a few other issues. Would you like to set the record straight what exactly happened out there?
To be honest, there are a lot of things that happened that day. So in the sense, I think as a comic, you also evolve, right? Like a joke that I would have written 10 years ago would have been sexist, would have been politically incorrect. With years of experience and things, you kind of realize, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like there was this song I wrote which was really terrible. But now looking back, I'm like, oh shit, that song was damn bad. No matter how much I justify about it. Because then you just keep evolving. Like I'll justify the jokes I'm doing now. But I can't
10 years later, we'll take a call on that.
But I'll tell you what was interesting in that event. Because I think it was the first time I was being faced with an individual assault like that. Now, there's a lot of reason that I know, which the college also told me, why it happened and whether it was pre-planned or whether it was at that point in time they were actually offended. It could be anything. It had a varied of things because, you know, like the great band Extreme once said in their album, 3 sides to a story, yours, mine and the truth, right? So that's what, what eventually happened is what I'm really happy with. So after it became an uproar, like if you write Abish Mathew's name on Google, that'll be the first thing that...
It does.
Yeah, it is.
I Googled you, it was on number 4 or 5.
Exactly. So my objective in life is now to make it page 2. Like do such cool things that probably become page 2. But one thing that happened really cool was, I think the college council had later called me, like a couple of months later, or a couple of weeks later. And they said that the students who had complained against me, they wanted, again, this is hearsay, I don't know if that's completely true. They wanted to bring this topic up to the leaders of the college, and they held a debate about it. And so
this is after the thing, right?
And then they held a debate about it, and they got to put their voices in front where they were debating about me.
And open letters and all that. There were many open letters also, which apparently they wrote.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm saying that They got that voice, they got to debate it, they won the debate as far as I'm concerned, as far as I've been told. So I was just like, I don't have to respond to it because I support what they're trying to do. And if because of maybe a of mine, they get to voice it out, I'm like, go for it, man. I can assure you I'll tomorrow also with something else. And if that aids the movement to go higher, I'm like, fine, till the time I when you stand up, it's fine. It's always great to be a ladder to society, like a step on the ladder to society. Even if it means they're stepping on you, you're still a ladder. So that's the way I'm dealing with it with my therapy. Thank you.
Nice, nice. Last two questions. Do you like interviewing or being interviewed?
I like interviewing. In being interviewed is odd for me because
because you're the one who's...
In my entire life, I've been like, how do you best interview somebody?
Yeah. And then somebody comes and...
Yeah, when somebody interviews you, like right now you're interviewing me. I'm enjoying it. I'm just saying it's super fun. Yeah. Maybe I'll change my...
After the show is over, he'll tell me what he really feels.
The reason I particularly don't enjoy being interviewed too much is because I like being the moon than being the sun.
Okay.
I don't know if I'm astronomically or astrologically...
Comment section. Yeah, comment section. Yeah.
Like I don't... Like in the sense what I mean... Okay, let me explain it. Forget because maybe I'm incorrect. If you know how to shoot a camera, right? If you know how to shoot. I don't enjoy being the key light. I enjoy being the reflector.
But you're the stand-up comedian.
Yeah, that's why...
You always have the light on you.
But that's why I'm son of a beach. That's why the guests are so much cooler because
No, but as a comedian, when you're performing,
as a stand-up comedian, it's all...
That's a different issue. You're talking about the interview thing.
As for the interview. Because as a stand-up comedian, you're doing this because you love it. Right. Someone comes and asks for a selfie, I'm like, come on, let's do it, man. If someone comes and has a conversation, I'll have a proper conversation with that person, unless I'm in a hurry. Like, there are points in time where managers like, bro, बहुत सारे लोग निकलते हैं. I'm like, हाँ, ठीक है. But अगर 50 लोग कर लेते हैं, it doesn't matter. It'll be fun for them, it'll be fun for me. I'll meet some cool people. So the thing is, what's interesting for me is that if there is a guest and there's too much attention on you, like right now, too much attention's on me. Like even if you look at the lighting, it's shifted towards me. You're a little to the dark. Maybe a complexion issue, but my point is that the light is still towards me. Sir agrees. Light is towards me, by the way, because I'm getting too much attention. But if it's an interview, then what happens is I have the ability as an improviser, which is it's a comedic art form, to yes and whatever you're trying to say. So in the sense, if the guest has an interesting story about school, I'll immediately lash on with like a small anecdote about my school and give them confidence to explore more thoughts that they weren't going to talk about. Okay. So that's like something I really enjoy doing, trying to figure out some interesting stories from it. It's always nice to bounce the light off to that person because I feel like if you're behind the camera, you're cooler. You're cool. Like people who are production are way cooler than people on screen. That's a ground reality. If you want to be an actor, good, but become an AD first, you will be respected way more. Like it's a way cooler thing to do. So I think I kind of like that also now slowly a little bit.
Fair enough. To end the interview, we're going to end with the pleasant topic of have you ever received death threats and how do you deal with that?
Such a pleasant topic. I know. Other than your usual internet death threats, which I don't consider death threats now.
Internet death threats like what? Twitter, Facebook?
Twitter, Facebook, everywhere. Instagram is such a lovely place. Nobody like says anything bad. Trolls. Instagram doesn't exist. What are you talking about? Go back to Snapchat. Go.
Aja on Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah. No, Twitter and Facebook you usually get because again on YouTube also you get so many free-flowing comments because there's no accountability, which is always. Earlier it used to phase me up a little bit, but I'm like, oh no, people aren't liking it. Oh no, someone's gonna kill me. Oh shit. But after some time it becomes literally noise. Because you will get many, you'll get a lot of hate comments. Sorry, you'll get a lot of hate comments, but most importantly, if someone has given you a death threat, and I don't think I've received a death threat so threatening that it has alarmed me.
It hasn't happened with you till
not so specifically. I know where you live. I will come kill you.
That hasn't happened till now.
So far, it hasn't happened.
But there is potential.
Yeah, why not, man? Like I said, I know I'll tomorrow. I'm apologizing for that now because you're imperfect. But if there's a death threat like that, which gets a little more specific and there's more thing to it, then you start getting alarmed. But when it's like a more generic, maar dunga terko, and other things involving other people or family, then I'm like, this is just noise. I can't get fazed by it. Then I'll stop doing what I'm doing then. I can't do that, right?
stop doing what you're
Like in the sense, if I start getting phased too much by it, why?
Okay, that means if you let it affect you, then you're going to
Yeah,
stop
and
doing
it's
it
not
at all.
affected me. I have this thing which I feel very happy about, which is something I started doing even with stand-up. Even if it's a room of 1,000 people or 10 people, I will identify like a couple of people who I keep looking back at to test if that person is laughing or not. And they will all be different. And it's all subconsciously I'm picking these people up.
It's also reassuring in a sort
Yeah,
of way.
there will be people who I know are laughing a lot. Then I will look at them to reassure. There'll be people who are folding their hands, and I'll keep looking at them and I'll try to impress them. But look at the person who's laughing. Are you laughing? Great. Are you laughing? Great. I can't look at everybody, but there'll be a certain person who I'll identify, not face wise. They just become a person that I'm always maintaining eye contact with and continuing. So similarly, on the internet, if you get a lot of hate comments, unless the same thing has been said again and again, then you know you need to take notice.
Okay, because it's being repeated, that's why.
Then you're like, okay, cool. But other than that, it's, यार मैं उतना death threat वाला मैंने अभी तक कुछ किया नहीं है.
तो किया नहीं है, हाँ. But we'll be in touch and.
Yeah, we'll be in touch. Yeah, cool.
I mean, I hope nothing happens.
I hope they allow you camera crew in Tihar. You know, if something does mess up.
Yeah, I mean, all for investigative journalism, close-up interviews. Absolutely.
Yeah, मैं ऐसा पकड़ के interview करूँगा.
Yeah, that behind the bars thing will actually look good.
Yeah, exactly. Behind the bar. Oh, dude.
That'll be good, huh? That'll be good. We'll work on that. Cool. So on that, like I said, on that very pleasant topic, we're going to sign off. Abish, you've been a wonderful interviewee.
Thank you. So maybe I'll turn the tide and I'll start getting interviewed more.
Done. And so when were you saying I'm supposed to appear on Son of Abish again?
Sorry. Hello? Sorry, just 1 second. Hello?
Yeah.
Huh.
Right. I get it. It's okay. Anyways, it was nice having you, Abish, on the show.